Hello and welcome. Today we're going to review the Q323 WL Toys quadcopter drone. This is a neat quadcopter which some of you will find very speedy and fast. If you're more into video and photography and footage, unfortunately this one is really not that good in that regard. But as far as a fun, fast flyer that's cheap and great for a good budget, this one is really neat. So we're going to go into the details right now. Now, in terms of the packaging, this quadcopter is actually very convenient and well packaged because the box is a good size and actually houses the quadcopter in a very convenient, safe manner. See, when you open it up here, everything is packaged perfectly, and so you're definitely going to want to keep this box because it holds it even with the propellers on, and they're well protected. You can see there's a plastic mold around the propeller, so, and even the transmitter. So very convenient, and everything is pretty much already assembled, and so there's really very little, if no assembly at all required, except maybe if you wanted to put the prop guards. But so yeah, you definitely want to hold on to this. So let's open the package up here. We pull out the plastic mold, and then you've got the quadcopter with the props already on, and it has the spinner caps on it. The battery, you've got a screwdriver, USB stick. There's a 4 gig SD card that comes with it. I already installed it on the quadcopter. You've got your 4 propeller guards, and that would probably be the only assembly that you'd need. You've got your 4 additional 3-bladed propellers. You've got your transmitter, and you will need, I think it's 6 AA batteries in the back of it. Pull out. So you will need those 6 AA batteries. And then here, you'll have basically your balance charger for your battery. And it's the battery, let's take it out of the quadcopter here right now. The battery, I think, is a 2300 milliamp battery. Let's see here. 7.4 volt, 2300 milliamp LiPo battery. So you would just basically plug it right in there and charge it until the green light comes on. And once again, this is a European charger. Wherever you order it from, make sure that they give you a connector, US connector. So that's basically it. That's the contents of the box. You'll see underneath, the only thing you'll have are the instruction manuals. But that's basically it. But everything's very simple, laid out. So this quadcopter, as you saw, has a 2300 milliamp LiPo battery. It has a 2 megapixel forward camera. If you have the Wi-Fi version of the quadcopter, it'll have a 0.3 megapixel camera, so a little lower quality. As you can see, it has bright and nice lights, so it's a good candidate for being a nice night flyer. Plus it has this nice little light here in the back, which is good for knowing which end is the back, is the rear. Because in the front, this one, usually a lot of them have 2 lights in the front or something. But this one decided to go with that design of putting it in the back, which is fine. And as you'll see, the top is called the Falcon HD Upgrade. And it is really cool looking. It has these 2 landing legs. It is pretty fast for being a toy grade or entry hobby grade. It is pretty fast. Now, these are not brushless motors. These are brushed motors, but this thing definitely picks up. And since it's pretty lightweight, it's very fast. The arms, I believe, are made out of like a carbon fiber or a maybe some sort of a metal. I'm not sure, but they are very strong and durable. This has crashed a couple of times, and it is very, very strong and sturdy. So this definitely can take a hit. Let's go into the transmitter a little bit. Here's the transmitter. Also has pretty bright lights, so you can also fly this at night. Right here you have your, this should be the photo and video button. Long press for video, short press for photo. This should be the flips button. You hold that and then you go in any direction to flip in that direction. You have your trims. Now, one interesting thing is that this trim will adjust the camera angle. So for example, you see the camera at this point here. If I bring this all the way down here, you'll notice that the camera just went literally all the way down. So yes, using this trim right here, you can adjust the angle of the camera. Now you have your different rates. You have 40% here, 60% here, 80% here, and then if you really want to go fast, you can touch here to get 100%. Now this button applies to the light, so you can turn on and off the lights. And then this one here is the auto takeoff, auto land. So you push it once and it'll take off, and you can be high in the air and just push this and it'll start descending until it hits the ground gently. Your throttle and your rudder and you know, your on-off switch, and that's basically it. It has pretty good range. I'd say maybe 100 to 200 meters, and this lasts quite a while with a full set of batteries in it, so you can definitely do many flights without having to change the batteries on this. If you wanted to calibrate the gyros, you would put both sticks down into the side until they blink, and until they stop blinking, like that. So that's basically it. This is not a GPS nor a brushless quadcopter. It's just a brush toy grade, low hobby grade quadcopter. Pretty fast, very smooth flyer. The main downside of this, because in general everything's very good, even the packaging is very good. The main downside is, and it's mainly a design flaw with this quadcopter, is the angle in which they put this camera. Even if you have it at the highest angle, you're almost always shooting the ground, because when you move forward, the camera naturally tilts down. It's tilted downward, and most of the time you're just shooting the ground. Now, unless you're flying at extremely high altitudes, you're pretty much going to get a basic shot of the ground. And I wouldn't, since this is not a GPS quadcopter, I wouldn't trust this at really high altitudes, because, you know, this transmitter, since this is really toy grade, this transmitter can only go maximum of maybe 100 meters, 200 meters. So in order to get maybe decent footage, you have to take this really high, and this is really not strong enough to go at really high altitudes. So really, if you're doing casual flying, you're really just going to shoot the ground. So it's very difficult to grab any decent, you know, horizontal or horizon level shots. So that's my biggest complaint about this. If you're intending to use this for photography or video footage of some area, your footage really won't come out that great. I mean, the quality of the camera looks okay, and if you could fly this smoothly, you might not get that much of a jittery shot. So really, it isn't shakiness or quality. The issue is the angle. But it's a shame, because it is a neat, nifty little quadcopter, and it's at a really competitive price. You could find this at a really good deal on the internet. You know, definitely under $100. You could probably maybe even get this for around $50 or less. So for being a, you know, toy crate, it's really fast and durable and has a cool transmitter. It's just a shame that you know, if the camera were positioned just a little better, you could get some decent shots of your flight. But aside from that, if you don't use it for camera purposes, it's a real cool flyer. And I recommend it as far as, you know, just a fun, you know, outdoor, take it to the park type flyer. But if you are planning to use this to take any half serious shots, you know, definitely look elsewhere. It's not like you can mount a GoPro or a run cam or one of those portable cameras on here, because you'll drain the, I don't think it has enough lift power for that. And if it does, you'll drain the battery right away. Which, as a final note about the battery, that is another high point of this as well. Since it has such a big battery, the flight time on this is magnificent. This thing can stay up in the air like 15, 16, 17 minutes on a full charge, so that's great. This for a toy grade, this has an excellent flight time. So I mean, all the pluses are there. It has a great flight time, great lights, good speed, good transmitter, good features. It has headless mode, one key return, camera video, flips, backlit transmitter. So it has all the good features, but the main downside is the camera. We'll have some flight and onboard footage for you, and enjoy.
So I do, yeah. Wow.
It's okay if you lose it for a second.
Again.